What is up, everyone? Thank you for joining. This is another episode of the G2 Taxidermy podcast, and I'm doing this intro in post from the actual episode. Just to talk about a few things. TJ Eads was in. Of course, Sam Gaylord, my co-host on the series, was in as well in the studio. But we have some exciting stuff. The 26th dropping tomorrow. We have a new drop coming with Rack Hub and WCB. Drop 003 with Rack Hub. We're full-blown brass Rack Hubs. This is the RH2. We have the RH1. There's going to be limited quantities of this. Exactly. Let me check my notes. 24 RH2s and 8 RH1s. Brass cap, real brass. It's very industrial and sleek and very WCB. I love it. It's a really clean look. We've been rocking this one in the studio for a long time. I just pulled it off the wall to show you guys in person this intro. These will be, at the time of this launch, available tomorrow. So get to Rack Hub's website in the episode description, code WCB. There's a link in there. Take you right to it. Apply that code. And there's also exclusive t-shirts related with this as well at Rack Hub. So support a growing brand. Support us. We appreciate you, and we hope you enjoyed this episode. And big shout out to Rack Hub for letting us be a part of this. So you guys are the best. Enjoy. Edition 5 of the G2 Taxidermy podcast. Kurt Geyer speaking.
Sam Gaylord, how you doing, bud?
I'm good, man. Good to see you. We're back again.
We are back.
The 5th edition.
The 5th.
We call them editions because it sounds cooler than episodes.
It's important.
Yeah. And you notice I don't number them.
No.
I keep them their own thing.
I like that.
We've counted so much on WCB, it's nice to not number them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Change it up.
Well, it's number 5.
Number 5. We're still counting them.
We're counting them. They count.
Who's this episode brought to you by?
FSI. It's new foam systems out of, well, they're not new. It's a very old company, but they've been developing a foam for our taxidermy industry. Mm-hmm. We worked hand in hand with them for several months between their facility down in St. Louis and then our manufacturing facility up there with G2. Mm-hmm. So not a woke company at all, but they developed.
It's sad you got to plug that now.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. They developed a foam that's, it's eco-friendly.
Mm-hmm. Well, they have to be by like regulation and stuff.
Yeah, it's a regulatory thing. And, and even though we're not woke and they're not woke, we do want to look out for the world and, what we're given.
There's a right amount of woke.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a spectrum.
I like that. That's said perfectly. There is a right amount of woke.
There is. Yeah.
There's, without being blue,
That's it.
Yeah.
Guest of the hour. We got to keep this episode under 16 hours. TJ Eads, Rack Hub. What's up, brother?
Hey, bud.
Thanks for coming back.
Yeah, thanks for having me back. And Sam, I wanted to start out by talking about the color of your foam, if we could dive into that.
Yeah,
issue with that.
It is research, man.
He has done his research. Mike Chambers is a very old dear friend of mine, and he is one of the huge marketing people there with FSI. He has been around our industry through a couple other businesses, and everybody always asks him about the color of the foam. They want white foam. And I think that the theory is that the white foam actually scratches easier for, to get that form prepped to put the cape on it. Well, white foam don't make no damn difference. It can be purple. Who cares? Nobody can see it under there, but it's just a faux pas that the industry has, and he's trying to debunk that, I guess.
Yeah, he tried to say it 10 times in an episode, but we're just making up for like what he didn't get done in the first. That was like episode 1, I think.
Yeah.
And
2, I think.
we nailed it on 1 and 2, but it doesn't matter the color of the foam.
The foam does not matter. It does not matter. And what's unique about this foam, the minute you pull it out of that mold, you start having, UV coloration.
Yep.
So, it might start white, but it ends up being,
whatever it
orange,
is. Yeah.
Whatever the sun gives it. So,
well, cool.
And again, that makes no difference. It does not affect the product.
Yeah.
Whatsoever.
Well, TJ that was your introduction. You just spun it right back. So I appreciate that. Which that shows you tuned into some G2 episodes. Dude, Rack Hub, I hope WCB listeners are familiar, but it's a product, and dude, I got to give you some flowers here. You're behind a lot of very sexy, innovative like cutting edge new stuff in the hunting industry all over, more than people. I mean, people who know in the industry that need to know. But I think from a WCB listener perspective, you have your hands on a lot of stuff in the game. A lot of the new trending, I don't know the right words, the new fresh stuff that's coming that I think is going to be pivotal in the direction of our industry here over the next several decades. I really do believe that. You're killing it, and you can see you're killing it, and you can see you're passionate about it with Rack Hub for sure. But I see it bleed over into other projects that you work on and stuff that you've touched in some of your design work that I didn't know you touched until talking to people. Like, oh yeah, TJ. I'm like, dude's everywhere. So I just want to start by saying that, and your passion and care for what you do to me shines through. So.
That is flowery.
Had to
Can't say
give
the
it
word.
flower.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
No, really appreciate it. No, it's a lot of opportunities, a lot of good people piecing it together. So no, it's fun.
Yeah. Well, and that's part of the reason I was like, we kind of forced you into this G2 recording day. I'm like, man, I'd like to get you on earlier than later. Can we make this work? Because one, I wanted you guys to meet because obviously Sam's involvement, and I look at him, the same flowers I gave you, I give that same flower almost exactly to him in the taxidermy industry, and taking passion and motivation and like pushing what the taxidermy industry can be for the future, which I think is a needed thing. Because before that, I didn't know of anybody doing what you're trying to do in the taxidermy space. Maybe somebody is, but I didn't know them.
Yeah, not a lot.
But so that being said, I think you guys getting connected with this series is huge. I see a lot of things that you do with Rack Hub that I feel taxidermists need to know about. Consumers of taxidermy, anything, need to know about it. And I think connecting you guys on this series and kind of the introduction and then the cross promotion and then the education for the listener is like a valuable thing. I've rambled enough about that, so I'll let you guys take it.
Well, this is the first time I've actually got to lay hands on this product, and I am just overwhelmed. And this is nice stuff.
Thank you. No,
I mean, nice stuff. We do a lot of, mounting sheds to, skull plates for, a mount or whatever. And there's always just a small amount of movement, and man, you don't have no movement. I mean, when these things get put together, it's just like it's on the skull plate. And just the flexibility of it and the maneuverability of it is crazy. And there's some things in our industry that are similar, but not near as good. I mean, you've took that concept of what I see like in some of our taxidermy magazines or, or catalog supplies, and they're junk compared to this.
No,
I mean, this stuff is far superior to anything I've ever seen.
It means a ton coming from you, Sam. Really appreciate it. And it was just, we were too naive to know any different starting out. We didn't know machinists. We didn't know how to run a business or any of those things. It's just been good people and pushing to get the right product. We decided we started in 18. So in 19, we thought, we'll go to ATA. So we prepped product for that. We're like, well, we're going to end up with a ton of expensive prototypes just for ourselves, or maybe people will see the vision that we've seen. So that was a good test bed for us to keep going. But yeah, it's been a labor of love. You don't, in this industry, you do it because you care. Like, you appreciate that, Kurt, you saying it earlier, but we do care. The team cares. Everybody involved cares. We too are hunters. We too love the antlers. So we want that customer, that taxidermist assembling that product for the customer, to have the best experience, seamless, where there's not a ton of cussing and throwing things. It's just like
a lot of cussing with a lot of things out there, but not with Rack Hub. Yeah.
I literally just watched you take a deadhead, a nasty deadhead, and I didn't time it, but it was under 10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
And you had that prepared to go on the wall.
Yeah. Literally, I had a buck I had found dead, and I had every intention of like Euroing it, but it just was nasty. And I'm like, I'm gonna let it sit outside. And, I got my salvage tag, all legal beagle. I'll let the bugs and everything else kind of clean it up, and then I'll get to it. It's not as nasty. And then I brought that up. He's, well, bring it. We'll throw it on a hub. I'm like, oh, of course. Yeah, that's way better. Anyway, So, I brought it and did it right before we jumped in here. I videoed it. And under 10.
Yeah.
5-6 minutes.
And with like in today's era with the EHD problems that we're all having, a lot of guys have these deadheads.
Yeah.
You know, and what an amazing way to display these, and it's quick.
So I think we should do, let's start with this. I think, WCB listeners are kind of familiar. I feel like they need to hear it again, especially the launch period of this episode being in September. There's guys who have sheds up to this point. There's guys that are going to be killing deer in the next 3 months and, different options, whatever. I feel like let's just start with what Rat Cub is, like a refresher, and then kind of branch out from there and how it probably ties into the taxidermy scene. I mean, it is taxidermy, but how can it go further?
Perfect. Let's do it. So Rat Cub at the core, what we're about is mounting your memories. That's, Sam, no different than what you're doing with all the work. It's reliving that memory when you see it, when you're looking at the antlers or the shoulder mount, the turkey, the fish. You're reliving that experience, and it brings generally most of the time joy or laughter or whatever emotion you felt. That's why you paid to have it done, or did it yourself. Either way, we're mounting a memory. So that's it at the core. And we started out trying to just get sheds on the wall because they were piling up, and you can't really at the time. Yeah, there's the fake skulls. Some of them, sometimes it goes well. Sometimes you spend all day Saturday trying to get it right. Maybe you're trashing your antlers in the experience just because you're drilling in it, trying to get it right. We constrained ourselves with how can we ship a product to a customer that maybe not very handy or that confident in using a drill, but make it so easy that they're not intimidated to try it.
Right.
And we've had a lot of people reordering because they had such a great experience. We send drill bits with every product so that you pull that drill bit out. You don't have to match the diameters or think. You just pull it out, chuck it up, drill, tap the insert in. We say drill, tap, display. It's 3 easy steps. And that was it at the start. Shed antlers on the wall, make it easy, great experience, mount your memories. Since then, from all the feedback, because if you're not listening and applying the constructive crit, you hear a lot of negativity. But if you can wade through it and see what's constructive and listen to the people using it, we've applied a lot of that, and we're finding that there's a lot of people traveling out of state and just cutting antlers off and want to bring back something they just killed.
Yeah.
Or their kid's first deer, maybe it doesn't make sense to shoulder mount, so they'll cut the antlers off and throw it on an RH2. And like you were saying earlier, Sam, you do it if you got charged drill and sawzall, you can get it done in 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was quick.
Yeah, and you can even have, if they're not confident, you can go to Sam and have a taxidermist do it. It doesn't, we're a brand, we're DIY taxidermy. If you're confident enough, do it yourself, great. If not, there's probably an uncle or a dad or your local taxidermist can do it and help you. But at the core, it is keeping that memory alive, mounting your antlers. So, and we're even branching beyond just antlers as we grow here. So.
Yeah, one thing I want to talk about, and we might have touched on this on the last WCB episode you were on, is, you get a lot of women that maybe don't hunt, but their husband or whatever hunts, that they don't like the eyes right on the taxidermy mount are like probably what freaks them out the most. Is that fair? You think the eyes get them?
That's what we've heard is the eyeballs get them.
Maybe
whether it's
that.
Euros or shoulder mounts, just the eye sockets or eyeballs get them.
It follows me everywhere I go.
Yes, they're looking at me.
That's the thing you hear. Well, when we had guests over, if they sleep on the couch, you're getting looked at by something dead in here. You can't escape it. I think it's beautiful.
It is.
But you have a classy look with Rat Cub, and you can almost I mean this. I want this to sound like a compliment. I mean it as a compliment. It can almost scratch the Pinteresty vibes that your girl has from seeing shit on the internet. That's a compliment.
That is a compliment.
Okay,
I agree.
I didn't want to come off wrong.
No, it is, and that was intentional. We designed it for hunters and non-hunters. There's a lot of non-hunters that just love bringing nature inside. Whether it's antler decor in a new boutique they just launched, or even high rises in New York, they want to bring elk antlers in there for display.
Right, or like a tavern or whatever that looks good, or like a woke coffee shop.
Correct. Yeah.
But here's what I mean. Hear me out. It's Hobby Lobby sells those fake bullshit antlers, and white women around the world are buying those and putting them on their mantles. How about just date a dude who kills stuff and then get a rack up and put real antlers on it and don't bitch at him when he wants to hang it.
And he can bring them inside. They're not out in the garage or up in the barn collecting dust.
Meet your guy halfway. Don't buy fake Hobby Lobby antlers. Just get a dude to kill some shit and get a rack up set up.
Yeah, she'll like it. She wins for the decor. He'll like it. It's the memory. He can relive it. So
I don't know if that analogy made any sense, but to me it does.
I got it. You
Makes
get it,
sense.
Sam?
It makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfectly clear.
I just wing them sometimes. Sometimes they work. Sometimes they just don't at all. But that's I try to keep my odds up. But I don't want you to be like, oh, Pinteresty, because it sounds like it's not a compliment, but it's tasteful.
That's one market we need to address and get better at. We actually sell some on Etsy because you got to be where your buyers are
Oh,
at.
you do really?
So there's a whole separate market. Like there's buyers on Etsy that don't touch Amazon, don't go to your .com. They live on Etsy. And
Etsy is rad.
Etsy's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
that's
sell
I guess
there.
Hobby Lobby, Etsy, Pinteresty. I think a lot of Pinterest stuff probably comes from Etsy.
Yep.
eBay's good.
eBay's good. We've sold on eBay too. We own all of our .com. So if you're buying online, we own Amazon, we own Etsy, we own our Shopify. I failed at other businesses and learned you got to keep control because otherwise they'll break map and then those volume units you sold, that was a great one check, and then now they're just trashing. They're getting all the sales because they bought them at wholesale or whatever and undercutting your map price. So yeah.
Okay. Well, so that's like I think the big selling point for a taxidermy option for a rack hub when it comes to the significant other side of things, depending on where they lie on like the cool spectrum in hunting, because it varies for sure. And it varies if it's in the garage, the basement, the living room, the hallway. That also falls on the spectrum of coolness, I think. So yeah, that's I had to give you that at least. And I know we touched on that a little bit in the WCB episode,
Right?
But I know a lot more taxidermists will listen to this series, so I thought it was a good refresher to kind of like hit on that.
Well, it fits hand in hand. I mean, this product goes with everything we do on a daily basis. So, and what I like about this product is it's almost techie looking.
Yeah, it's tastefully industrial.
It's cool.
Yeah,
I mean, it isn't just your standard, junk. When you look at it, you see, man, this is very well put together.
it's quality.
Yeah.
Okay, let me transition with this question because I know you want to address this, and it might sound like I'm poking the bear, but what about taxidermists are like, well, you're taking work from us, because that's a thing I'm sure you've heard.
It is. Yep. Well, let's poke it. And
Poke
Sam,
that.
you can speak from that side of the fence, but like I was telling you when we were talking over there, we're all about giving your time back. That's one thing that's a resource we don't get more of. So we're trying to make it easier, and we got products for taxidermists, even if it's just, I know that taxidermist retailing products isn't necessarily always the thing, but it can be. But it's really just giving the time back, just making it quick. Sometimes you got to get antlers attached to a thing. We make the thing to make that happen.
Yeah. I think, and I'm trying to be politically correct here, but
Nah, fuck that.
I think if you're worried about TJ taking work off your plate, you're not doing a very fucking good job marketing yourself.
There's that too. I think that's
There's enough work for everybody.
tough to swallow pills for some people.
There's enough work for everybody. It's out there. Everybody's a year behind, most of us. They have to be because you take your whole year's worth of work in a 3-4 month period. If you're worried about this product taking your work, you really need to reevaluate where you are in your business.
Yeah.
I think one thing we brought up on the WCB podcast, I forget who said it. It's probably you, Kurt, because you're full of good ideas.
I'll take credit because I'm the only one here.
It's just another tool in the toolbox. Just like forgive me, I forget his name, but we threw it on the RH1. So his shed, what's his name? That buck?
Oh, 9 Lives.
9 Lives.
Yeah. Eric's buck. Yeah.
Yeah, Eric's buck. Sorry. No, yours. The RH1, the burnt shed.
Oh, Battle Axe.
Battle Axe.
Yeah.
Battle Axe. So it supplemented a shoulder mount because you're displaying his shed. So you kind of have that whole story there of
Yeah. That's a good point.
Found this at that age, ended up killing him when he was 5.
Well, Sam mounted that buck, Battle Axe.
Good work, Sam.
And then, yes, we hung. I wanted a good way, and I knew about Rack Hub, right? And then when you came in, it's like, dude, we'll hang it right here. I'm like, it looks way better than I thought. But again, this story's been told 3 times. Austin has the hopper dropper, full mounted, jumping, and he has, I don't know, 3 to 4 sets from that buck, and they're all, I think, Gen 1 RH2s.
They are all Gen 1s. Yeah, he supported us early on.
Yeah, and it's a great display.
Yeah.
It's attractive. They're all there. You can can pull them off and hand you a big drop tine shed, and badass. So it is. It's a good supplement to a traditional taxidermied shoulder mount. But so if a taxidermist is listening, they're like, man, that's a great idea. I want to have some RH1s or some RH2s, one antler or two antlers. Can they become like an independent dealer for Rat Cub, or how does that work?
For sure. Yeah. Just hit us up on the website. We've got dealer pricing. It's what we call it, just dealer pricing. Mm-hmm. And it's great margins, so they can be profitable as well. And we don't have like a giant MOQ, a minimum order quantity. Mm-hmm. You can just order a few units, give it a try. We have a threshold where we pay for the shipping versus you, but no, we're here for you. So you can order just a few of them, stock up. Yeah. Maybe you have a couple on display in your shop, garage, storefront, whatever.
Yeah.
And then somebody comes in and, hey, here, I know how we can get this set up for you, and put your labor on it, whatever, and you're able to mark up the product. So yeah, it's easy. We're here. Again, we're for taxidermy. We want the industry to grow. This is another tool in the toolbox.
Absolutely.
Let's mount more memories.
That's something I see when I'm sitting here looking at this product. I'm going through different scenarios in my head. We do a lot of work for a couple different outfitters, and we might mount 15, 20 deer for these outfitters that go to Pennsylvania, or we ship them all over. Well, this product right here, especially if you got just a nice buck that's maybe not going to be a Boone and Crockett or something, you don't want to cut it apart. It'd be way cheaper for us to be pinning these horns so we could put them in a small box to ship to these people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the shipping is astronomical on a deer head. I mean, and everybody asks me, how much to ship? Well, I never know exactly. We got to crate it. We got to do this. We got to do that. Well, typically you get $500, $600, $700 in shipping a deer head. Where if you can unpin, remove those horns and put them in a small box, I can ship to you for $35. Mm-hmm. So I'm just my wheels are turning, I guess, when I'm looking at this product. So
you mentioned outfitter too. That's a great idea. You mentioned outfitter, and one thing we early on tried to pitch, just wasn't the right time, and we need more education as to who we are, what it does, because it's different, new and different. It's not like we have a direct competitor and we're competing on innovation or price or color or whatever. Outfitters can take to those shows sheds of deer that those guys and gals can touch, feel, and hold, and then go hunt.
Yeah.
So they can take and display sheds of deer that they can come hunt that fall. And we felt that would be a huge selling point because it's something tangible. Seeing a little print off trail cam pic, it's cool.
A binder with photos in it.
Yep, binder with photos. Or look at the sheds laying here. I mean, these are giants, but they're not on the RH2. You can't really appreciate
Low fence giant.
Yeah, it is. But we bring it just for reference.
Yeah.
But something like this guy, this is a 3-year-old. My wife killed him when he's 4. But seeing that laying down, you can't really see the significance of him. But when he's docked up with his match set and you can see the mass and everything, you just
get the frame and all that.
It hits different. So
yeah, it's very true. It does. And it's a good way to mix it up too. We have so many shoulder mounts and we have sheds laying all over. It's like, it'd be nice to put these up, So that's a big point. And then you have the big dog there. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can see on the camera which angle I should look at. But
yeah, throw it right up on this one.
Okay. Sam, I'm going to get a little intimate here.
All right.
RH2, right hand, your left if you're looking, and the XL, so it's significantly different size-wise.
Big dog.
Size-wise, there we go.
I bet you know exactly how much bigger it is.
I should, Kurt, but I don't.
I figured that'd be a stat you just had in the
Well,
brain.
this one weighs, I think, 4 pounds, and this guy's 12 ounces, so weight-wise.
Yeah.
But, you saw the 20-pound antlers we were hanging.
Yeah.
And the torque, the torque on these ball joints really stresses it, so we had to beef it up to hold them.
Yeah.
Especially with the twist, you take a 20-pound antler off, and you have one on there still torquing the whole bracket, transferring it. So there was some engineering involved in trial and error and breaking things, but we showed it.
Yeah. Legit over there on the other side of our studio, I pulled one side off, and I was like, what's this 20 pounds? Like 19.8 pounds. It's like, holy shit, on both sides. So it's holding 40 pounds of bone out off the wall and then on ball joints, essentially.
Yeah.
And the one thing that's interesting, and it was hard for us to even grasp early on, but let me backtrack. So when God designed these antlers, he made them dense right here by the head, and then it gets porous, right? So having 3-inch plus anchor points going up, studs running up into the antlers is, from an engineering standpoint, unnecessary. So when we just forgot everything, let's just jump right in. How should we do this? Forgetting the perception of that in existing products, we ended up coming up with a stud that's shorter than 1.5 inches. And it was all in the details of how we're able to hold that. But you can feel it when you drill into the antlers. I've drilled into thousands at this point. It's tough, and then it wants to, suck you in with that drill because you hit that porous. I don't know. Forgive me. I don't know.
It's like core
yeah.
is different. But what is the term? It's just like, I know what you're saying though. Yeah.
It's just porous.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we only made it as big as it needs to be to perform well. And I think I brought this up on the last one, but in every product, there's a failure point. We've designed that ball and stem. It's machined out of one piece of steel, and we had to do that. But that's the failure point. So we've had some folks return products saying they broke it. Well, they broke it because they had the antlers attached, set screwed point loaded the bottom, which is our double lock. And then they went to wrench on them and torque it. And all you've done is create a big moment arms to just twist these like wrought iron. And they don't snap because it's steel. It just twists it. And that is designed to be the failure point. So your antlers don't break. They're going to be fine. And the bracket's going to stay on the wall. This is steel, so it will have that little bit of give where you're like, that was dumb. Wish I wouldn't have done that. But then we sent them a new ball and stem, and that's happened 5-10 times in the life of our company.
And it just unthreads, and they pop the new ball in, and then good to go.
Yeah, I can disassemble one here.
Yeah, it's incredibly easy.
It's attractive, man. That's the best thing about it, is it just looks good. That's why I wanted to just like get you on this series, because I know this is going to benefit a lot of. That's fun. See, I want to play with that.
Okay, there you go. Can't do that. Don't forget the urethane disc.
Let me fidget. Yeah, I didn't know this disc was in there.
That was the deal breaker. So we bought every ball joint we could get our hands on starting out, thinking we could just source something, and nothing was strong enough at that small of scale to hold what we needed it to hold. So we ended up machining them.
So it goes under?
Just lay it in the RH2 first, right there in that dish.
Oh.
Yep. Just lay it there.
And just threads over it.
And then just lay the ball and stem on it and threads over it. There you go.
Oh, nice.
So that allows for the cushion of being loose, kind of snug, tight. Because if you don't have that buffer in there, and Sam and I were talking on this earlier, it's either tight or loose. There's no in between.
Yeah.
'Cause it's metal to metal. So that gives the good feel.
Yeah.
It makes you want to
control.
Full control.
Because without it, you'd be like, fuck. All right, hurry up, tighten it. And it would just be a mess. Okay.
And it just, the sound and the tactical feedback, it's just rough. So that gives it the next level.
Okay.
And it took us a while to figure out the material we needed and all that fun stuff on the
how do you
production side.
So when you first designed this and you're playing with this ball joint without that in there, you're like, it just doesn't feel right. Like it needs something. And then this is what you figured out.
So it was me, and then the gentleman's name is Russell Walden, and you may have seen the name Russell because he ships all these. He assembles and ships them. As we're growing, there's other people helping out here and there, but he's the reason we're still here. Truthfully, he took us on machine shop and helped us R&D a lot of this. And him and I arrived at that design after many trial and errors, as well as Jason, my cousin. So it was a lot of learnings, a lot of failures.
It's a fun fidget toy.
It is fun fidget spinner.
Dude, that's genius.
Yeah, and we're trying to keep it simple.
Yeah, it's super simple. It's
because you got to be able to assemble them to grow a company too, and make it easy for less parts, less sourcing, less cashier hanging out there, less inventory, and it's speed on assembly. So we're able to assemble them fast, only using the parts you need to use.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. It's genius. I love them, man. They're attractive. So I heard through the grapevine, some things I heard that
not true.
Okay, moving on. Sam, what have you been up to lately? I heard you guys got some new stuff you're working on.
We do, and it's not the general outcast of we got more things coming. Stay tuned. You know, we've
Yeah.
done that in the past, but no, seriously, we've got a lot coming. It's a fact, and it's all sitting here. So this will drop September-ish.
Yeah,
more than
middle
likely.
of the month. Yep.
So we're recording. I don't even know what day it is. July.
It's
Mid-July.
July 18th.
July 18th. So yeah, by the time you listeners are consuming this, we will probably have dropped most of these products, or we'll be soon dropping them. We have what's called the Taxidermy 2-packs, and those are sitting here in front of Sam and I. Real simple. All we've done is taking the ball joint that has been the lifeblood of Rack Hub and put it. It's just a separate unit. We're 3D printing these out of PLA. It's really tough for the applications, and guys and gals can throw these into old shoulder mounts. We hole sawed one I showed you out back over here, and we'll educate more on that. You can hole saw an old shoulder mount and turn it into a shed mount. Every hunting lodge needs it. You can drop a different match sets in there. This also, the reason we send this is because our partnership with Antler Tech and working on this together, they can use this, and anyone can, to make their own mold. So whether it's a skull plate, a skull, they can use this for the mold making process that will key fit this. So it's got a rectangle block on the bottom that key fits to the rectangle in the bottom of the cylinder. We sell these as 2-packs, comes with everything you need. We've got Euro mounts we're dropping. It's just been something we've tried to launch at the right time with the right details in the Rack Hub way, where Rack Hub it's there, it's supposed to look nice, but the hero are your antlers, or your skull, or whatever. So we're not designing products that when you're mounting your memory, you're looking just at our product. We're designing products to elevate your antlers. You know, that's why the RH2, RH1, RH2 XL for sheds, they point uphill. It's holding your trophy essentially.
Yeah.
But this Euro mount we're stoked on because it is minimalist to the core and tough as nails, where it'll hold world class down to, you know, a spike bowl or a spike buck.
Sorry, let's go back to this. What are you calling this? Taxidermy 2-pack?
Taxidermy 2-pack.
Okay, so when you say hole saw, are you saying that I can take an existing mount that's already mounted, skin, hair on, it's done, and I can hole saw into the skull plate of that if I take the antlers off, and then drop this in there?
Yeah, and then turn it into a modular, throw any antlers on that have inserts in them that you want. So
I could go, if I have a hunting camp community, I'm thinking like when Jimmy John was on, he talked about how they do like a community hunt camp, how everybody gets a replica of their buck and they cycle the big bucks on the main wall. But you could get like a old mount from an antique store and make it the center and just like put your sheds on it, the biggest sheds for the year on it, in a hunting camp.
For sure. All day.
That's fun.
Yep.
There's some hunting camp tradition that could go down with that.
We do a lot of remounts, and I sell those on eBay as we call them a convertible buck. So we literally, soak that top, take that head loose, and take that skull plate out of there. And then we just pop it on eBay. Sometimes they'll bring $300
with no skull plate at all.
No skull plate. So then they can slide their own in. But I'm seeing this application. That's why I kept asking about the actual skull part. So if we took that skull plate out, we put that skull in there. I think it'd be a huge home run.
So forgive me, but I didn't bring the skull plate version of this, just the skull. This is Antler Tech makes these with us. This is the whitetail unpainted version, but it has the same ball joint that drops in there, same key fit. So this is the inner core of what you're holding over there, Kurt. But yeah, Sam, like you and I are talking, this skull plate you could drop in there, and now it's modular. Yeah. These are more for hey, cut the antlers off of that antique buck, hole saw, glue those in. We just epoxied them in. Or you can drop them in barn beams and still have the versatility or whatever. You can hole saw anything or create a mold around it, drop them in the center of a table if everybody's doing resin tables. I mean, it's limitless. That's why we're calling it Taxidermy 2-pack, because it's
just a foundation to get creative with.
You're the creator with that product. So that's
fun.
Well, you could take it outside of deer too. I mean, we just did yesterday. Leah mounted a crappie on a tabletop piece where the crappie was like swimming off this thing. We're drilling a couple holes and we're wiring and whatnot. Man, that would have been a perfect application for that.
Dude, I just thought of, what we need we need these mounted on top in front of our wood sign on front of the building on top, and get some antlers off the top.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Just some antlers. We don't care if they get sun bleached.
Yeah.
Well, you can poly them and just keep doing, or Sam probably knows the best finish for them, just to keep them from bleaching.
Yeah, well, I think Doug's got a big set of bleached white sheds that are already bleached. I wonder if he'd let us throw them on the front of the building. They'd get all chalky, though. Is there something you could put on them to keep them from getting chalky?
You could slack them or something.
Yeah.
I mean, outside is outside. It's
Yeah.
It's rough.
it's gonna do UV.
Wouldn't that look cool?
It would be
That'd
cool.
be sweet. And we got the XL versions too for moose and elk and anything big game.
I think possibilities are endless.
They are.
With this, man. You could get some guys could get really creative with some, like the resin table thing. I never thought you could put that in there and have like.
Oh, yeah, line it up. And that derived, again, I was going back to constructive crit. We've had people, we've witnessed them cutting the RH2 and putting it in shoulder mount. We've witnessed them cutting just the ball joints off to do custom work. And we've
really?
never had that application or able to ship them that way. So our partnership with Antler Tech, we arrived at this design, and they're good boys over there, and they make quality products. Highly recommend them. Let me hold up this.
Yeah, this one needs to be in every taxidermy shop ever.
Yeah,
this is
a nice product.
It's a base platform you could do a lot with.
This guy's insane. They try and perfect it as far as even the feel of the weight of the thing.
So
but
TJ's holding a fake elk skull for people just listening. It looks like a real skull.
yeah, they hand paint, so you can get painted and unpainted. That whitetail was unpainted. This guy's you can see he needs to brush his teeth a little bit there.
Yeah, realistic.
Yeah. And they got a hole where it can mount on any Euro bracket in the back like normal with the brain cavity hole there. So occipital bones and, I mean, even the nose details.
Yeah.
We were looking at it,
You have no reason to believe that that's not a real skull, especially when it's on the wall and there's antlers on it. So that's impressive.
Yep. But no, the taxidermy 2-pack was born out of constructive crit and observation, and now you can be the creator.
Yeah. It's I'm a big fan of that. There's gonna be a lot of people that can fly that flag and get creative with that. Like I never thought, like when you said the like barn beams, you could do a ton of stuff with that.
Well, we have what's called the antler bar, right? Which is this is our price point item, and we've had a lot of people get creative with these. We designed them so that I think there's 1.5 inches of straight section here, so you can even bend them a little bit if you need to. But essentially, you chuck it up in a drill and run it in like a lag bolt. Pre-drill it depending on what you're running it into, like that hard oak or whatever beam I have out there. I had to pre-drill, but run it in. You just have to be cognizant of the angle that you're running it into, right? Because it's only one way.
Right.
So you got to kind of prep for that drill.
Get your angle on it right.
And most people will just move up to the RH1 because they're too anxious to get it right.
But that's a great option though.
Oh,
this is an amazing option.
And we've got one review, and I love it online. There's a West Coast, I think it's West Coast dental shop, and maybe I'm wrong. We'd have to look at the review, but he's got it in between each bay. He's got one dividing each bay, and it looks so sick because it looks like the antlers are floating with that product.
Oh.
'Cause it's so sleek and minimal, you don't even know how it's pointed and oriented that way, which there's tons of Pinteresty, DIY, hang them upside down.
Yeah.
Or you got them over there, your rattling set. But to get it
On the hunter hangers.
yeah, buddy. But to get it to where it looks real in the orientation on the deer's head, it's a pretty sweet solution.
That is sweet. So what's the price point on these?
I think it's like $15, and it comes with drill bit and insert and everything, where the RH1's $49 or $50. So, and we sell them in 10 packs, so I think they can get 10 for $100. So you can do your Christmas tree stuff. And
Mantle, mount them off the mantle, hang your
Amazing.
stuff. Dude, that's
and then the XL version here. Let you have it for
dude,
comparison.
that's a fucking great idea. See, dude, like your brain is impressive, man. Like this is a lot of thought, right? To get the RH2 right is a good thing, but then to have the thought process to break it down in like a user friendly, like to this, less thought is in this compared to this, but to go from this and think about the option for this is impressive.
Do you
know what I mean?
There's a lot of antlers to mount and a lot of ways to mount them. We just want to give give everyone the options. And we've
I
had
love
people
that.
use those in shoulder mounts too. But again, it's only for that single set, and you're kind of bending them and torquing them perfect. It's more like the square tube, square peg.
Yeah.
Which is fine if
But
it's only
the tolerance is way better.
tolerance is tight. Yep. And it's simple to do. You can even set those in and move them around while it's setting up epoxy wise or whatever. So,
Oh, dude, those are awesome.
I was telling TJ this last week we mounted a huge red stag, and the guy wanted the antlers detachable.
Don't you pretty much have to make them all detachable when they're that big, though?
Yeah, it helps to get in and out of the doorway for sure. But
Good problems there.
yeah, you know, we use a male female pin, and it's just they're so heavy and so big, you know, and you're dealing with this little like TJ was saying that it's porous up inside that. So you know you're working with two. It's just
What are you just using, like regular square rod with it?
yeah. We used to use steel male and a
Yeah.
you know tube female,
Yep.
but I wish I'd have seen this a week ago.
Dude, you know, it's funny. I think I called you and was like, hey, I think TJ from Rack Hub's going to come on while you were doing that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I was.
I
working
called
on
you
that.
and you're like, I'm fucking with this thing.
Yeah, I'm drilling in. You know, and the thing is, like, with putting a big male and female in, you know, I got to bore an inch hole.
yep.
You know,
That's scary as shit.
Well,
It's intimidating.
it's not intimidating. It's a son of a bitch.
Yeah. Well, there's that too.
It's all just sounds
Well,
horrifying.
I was telling Leah out there when we were looking at it, we ship the drill bits with, but we constrained ourselves on the XL. Half inch is the largest we're working with. It'll fit in every drill. It's the maximum for chucking it up. But half inch is intimidating in its own. We can't go bigger. So we worked backwards working with that half inch diameter, designing the XL insert and making sure the ball and stem or the antler bar, the XL antler bar would hold it. But yeah, and you're only going, I think we recommend 1.5 inches deep, but that measures like an inch, 350 thousandths or something on that XL insert, or it's around there.
And this is new?
No, they're existing. We just don't market them very much, I guess.
Yeah, because you didn't. I don't think you've ever talked about this on any of the
Well, I
podcasts.
gotta bring some new stuff
Hey,
in there.
I like it. I didn't know about it, and I'm impressed with this. This is fucking cool, man.
So on that one that you're holding, just a little detail, you see those holes going through?
Yep.
The reason for those, let's say you got a giant red stag antler and his main beam is just covered in trash. It, depending on how you mount it, might want to loosen it from the wall, like spin it. So that way those holes are drilled through and you can stake it with a little nail or screw or whatever to keep it from spinning.
Oh, I got you. With the weight
Yep.
of it, it might want to turn
Correct.
the thread.
Depending on what you're mounting it to, you know, the substrate you're mounting it to. So that's why those are there.
I thought it was something to put a rod to help you.
You can. I mean, they're designed to just chuck them up in the drill and run them into whatever. So
That's cool, man. See, this is knowing our listener base and how creative guys are, and like, you know, handy, and guys, a lot of guys working the trades. That I think you're gonna, man. I would hope you see a boom with this. There's guys that have ideas for shit at their bar.
Yep.
That they're just like, I just need something to mount an antler. This is,
Yeah.
I think you can see. You should have a contest. Most creative.
We should do one. Let's do one.
We
Write it
should.
down.
It's
That would
neat.
be sweet.
I'm gonna
Write
take-
that one down. Thanks for bringing. Yeah. pen
Because
and
you could
paper.
do like a creative display contest of, I mean, whatever. I'm thinking card tables, home garage bars. Like, this is the garage bar mounting solution for sheds and stuff. You know, you could have some cool stuff.
So I'm going to challenge you.
Oh boy.
I'm sitting here looking at these products, and I am in awe. You're doing an amazing job.
Thanks, Sam.
So, as a pressure point or a pain point in about every taxidermy shop, it is, you know, the new wave of taxidermy is a wall pedestal buck. Okay. I mean,
Okay.
that's kind of, you know, everybody's got a nice shoulder mount. So, you know, guys are going more wall pedestally. The pressure point or the pain point is getting that to hang on the wall where it don't do cartwheels.
Yep.
So there's several brackets that are available on the market. Every freaking one of them, for the most part, is pain in the ass. Now, we have come into a couple that we really like that's are beating the system.
The full range ones get around the for the most part, the spin.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yeah. But still,
Every other one of them
yeah.
that I've trash. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, man, I'm seeing this and I'm thinking, man, that would insert up inside that deer cavity. And it would just be easy. It'd be simple.
Yep.
Just simple. Simply elegant.
Mm-hmm. I'll have to dive into that more with you because it's something I'm not familiar with. Are we going up through the brisket? Is it a thing on the back, on the plywood?
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Yep.
So we need to make it so it'd work for
so
those
like a leveling system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it's tough.
That's the hardest part.
That's all of our products. The point is you can get it displayed the way that you deem right. So we could have measured the width on your buck we just cut off and displayed him exactly the way he was. Or you can fib a little bit and give him an inch more spread.
Give him an inch.
But that's the point of the system is you display it to where it's right. I don't like when you mount something it's only one way and you can't tweak it because then you are never satisfied with it.
And that's the problem. The product you were just talking about, I love that product and we sell a lot of those.
The full range?
Yeah, that's a great product. But if you don't have that perfectly level and perfectly level on the back of the deer and perfectly level on the wall, I mean, you get it there, but there's some extra work that goes to that.
Yeah.
Where this product with this ball and socket, it would take a lot of that out of it, especially for the guy home that took it home. Maybe he lives in a mobile home, right? He doesn't have a good stud to go into. He doesn't have that capability to hang that bracket and twist it one way or the other. I mean, I don't know. I just see some amazing stuff here. So
you would dominate the wall pedestal scene if you could figure that out. Not to air out all our ideas.
We got to
on
get
the
on
air.
it. No, we got to get on it.
Yeah.
We're all about solving problems. Make it easier.
That'd be a big one.
Well, I'm just sitting here just turning that and sticking that back together. I'm thinking, man, there's so many applications in my shop we could use that.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I mean. That's why I think it'd be neat to do like a contest to see how crafty guys can get with some of these systems. Because there's, like, I know Eric's a welder, and I'm not a welder, but, I've cut and welded and made test stands at deer, and I've cut enough metal to know how good some guys are. I botch it, but I get it to work. There's some guys out there that could do some pretty cool shit with this.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
I'm just think about across the Midwest alone, how many badass garage bars there is that everybody's got their own eclectic vibe and everybody's got a different way of displaying stuff. I think you could see a lot of guys get really creative with these and come up with some neat stuff. Just to do some sort of contest.
One of the coolest ones recently I've seen, people use your products and they share the pictures, whether it's a review or tagging you on social or emailing you or however they can get a hold of you these days. There's a ton of
too many ways.
It's hard to manage all of them, but we try our best. Anyway, dude just cut like a 4-inch diameter kind of organic looking stump, cut it where it sat level on something, ran an antler bar in it, and that was the display. Like it was chunk of stump, antler bar, antler.
Just clean.
It just looked clean. It looked sick. We hadn't thought of that.
Yeah.
Because it was a pedestal that he could put on a shelf, on the coffee table, wherever.
Yeah.
By just using the antler bar and a chunk of wood he just cut. So it's pretty sweet.
I'm thinking just like that piece right there. If that was embedded up into like a fox leg and that was into the pin or into the diorama, man, that fox would just sit right on there. It's key right in.
Key right in.
I just thought of another idea, but I'm not going to say it on air.
Write it down. Don't forget.
We've been writing down a lot of things today.
That's good, right?
Yeah.
Homework.
The funny thing is when you write them down, you come back to them later, you're like, stupid idea.
Yeah, dumb idea.
But hey, at least you wrote it down.
That's
okay.
right.
I think, I feel like that's a winner.
Well, thanks. Yeah, it's been around for a minute. We just don't market it a ton because, I don't know, we should, but we don't.
There's some creative juices with
I like the
consumer.
contest idea a lot.
Because I just think there's a lot of guys that can take this. It's just the right platform, Same thing with like the Taxidermy 2-pack. Like that's the right it gives you the base to be creative with, and I think that's what's so cool about it. It's like Legos. It's like the design of Legos is genius, of course, and then you get them like you can do anything with these things. Like that's might be not my best analogy, but I'll try it again.
Legos is huge because we just observed a lot of companies that have that family model. Mm-hmm. So the same insert you use for this match set that you found, you can take that antler off and go from RH2 to RH1 to antler bar. The family fits together when we started, today, and future us. That'll always work.
Thank God.
So no matter what products we develop, it'll plug into the family. So you can move antlers around. We've had people that mount this match set, and I love it, and it's going to stay that way. And then, found a bigger one or one that means more. And
moves down the
take
wall.
those off, then move down the wall, or those go in the pile and buy inserts. We sell the inserts separate.
Yeah.
So we've noticed in the last 2 years, we've been selling more and more inserts.
Just
so
adding them.
People have the products. They just want new inserts for new antlers. Take old antlers off, put new antlers on. So you're buying into a family, and everything fits. There's big game collection and deer collection.
Yeah.
So the big game is your elk, stag, moose. The deer collection is every deer. Whether it's whitetail, mule deer, all of them. So we have listed out. But
Okay, so that kind of adds in. People are adding. They got their variety, and there's some options coming for the RH1, RH2. Let's break into that because I'm stoked about this.
Okay.
Is that the next thing in line?
I don't. I'd have to look at we use Figma to organize our thoughts. We've got what we're calling drops coming.
Drops.
So, works for our brand. MKC's good at Dialed, who we work with. They're great at it. But doing these limited quantities of specialty items, that's maybe just a tweak on a product, something exclusive. So you want to follow along. It's fun to market, fun to get your hands on it. Anyway, to your point, we're dropping these aluminum caps. By the time this drops, it'll be done and over with. So just raw aluminum. So for those car guys that like wrenching on things, or maybe you just like that aesthetic of the raw aluminum, we're selling those separate caps in RH2 model, RH1 model. That's going to be our first drop.
Yeah.
Second one, I think we're just going to use it to drop the taxidermy 2-packs. Again, just for creativity, get it out there. And then this third one, which will be about the time of this podcast drop, will be the brass.
The brass.
So
That's sexy.
Hand me that
Yeah.
one, Sam. All right, let TJ hold that up because he's got the good camera angle. The brass.
Which one,
is,
that one? That
yeah,
one?
this one right here.
okay, there you go, guys. I don't know if you can see the shininess, but it's not a finish. That is brass. So
It's sweet, man. It's I've selfishly have claimed this one as mine.
first
for
one.
for those antlers. And is this the first one?
That's the first one that anyone owns ever in the world.
Oh, I gotta have you sign it.
We can do that.
Might as well, like up here.
Sure.
Dude, it's attractive. It's like, to me, I like anything, the contrast, right?
Yeah.
This puts off for me, and this is hear me out. It's edgy, it's industrial, it's tasteful. This reminds me of something you'd see in a tattoo shop. It reminds me of something you'd see in a high-end like motorcycle shop. I get custom vibes, and that's what I like about it. It's just sexy. It looks good. It looks good with a barn wall backdrop on metal industrial. Our whole vibe in this whole place is wood, metal, and brick. And this falls right in line with that. So, dude, first of all, thank you
You're welcome.
for letting me selfishly just steal this from you and didn't even ask. I'm like, this is mine, right?
You did ask, right?
I did kind of ask.
You kind of.
But no, dude, it's beautiful. That's exciting. I think this one's going to be a hit with WCB listeners, especially. I think appreciate the same things I mentioned, just a lot of guys, blue collar background, working with metal and machining and stuff. It's just fun.
I appreciate it. No, it made sense when we were chatting on it. And you're like, dude, that could be big. So it'll be, exclusive, limited quantity, small batch type thing, just because we don't know, and brass is expensive for us to invest in to machine it.
Yeah.
Definitely felt the difference. But we're going to make a set quantity, whatever we arrive on, and drop it. And if people love it, then we'll talk about doing it again down the road. But
I think it's a great way to
stoked.
test it.
Yeah.
And first thing I think of, man, when I see this is like, okay, I've got the black caps versus the brass caps. You can have, you say you kill your biggest buck ever, you got a set of match sheds. You can put the match set of sheds that are probably near and dear to you.
Yep.
I'm sure that deer means a lot to whoever shot it. You could throw them with the brass caps, and it kind of highlights them and adds significance, especially if you have a wall full of taxidermy. Or, some sheds, you could make this the centerpiece of your wall of, however many lineup you have on your display. and have the center one be the brass caps.
Yep.
And the cool thing is they can just get the caps and swap them out.
Exactly. We're just going to sell the caps separate if they got a product already.
Yeah, I think it's neat, man. It's a great option. I just love it, dude.
Yeah.
It's definitely got that tattoo gun vibe.
Yeah,
Sure
tattoo
does.
gun. Yeah, it's like tattoo machine. Yeah. You know, the contrast is what I'm all about. It's edgy, but classy. It's like a guy with a neck tattoo and a suit.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's not the shitty analogy again. That's the fourth one of the episode.
Not keeping track.
I wonder how many. I need an analogy button. But anyway, very clean.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So to tie in with that, we had our wood pedestals, which they work, they're great, but it's subjective. And I mean that because people will get the product and be like, don't love the grain. Don't love the stain. And we just ran into supply chain issues it was an issue. So we have designed and we're ready to manufacture and ship these bad boys. I can reach it here. A metal pedestal, modern, sleek, sick, and we will be doing a brass pedestal kit with Kurt. So we'll have brass screws. That's the aluminum, so that'll be done and gone at the time of this drop. But we'll have brass littered up on that thing, and it should look real sick. And that's something you can put wherever, you know. And if, like Keegan and I were talking, like take it to work, put it in your cubicle. So you can while you're working, you can relive that memory quick. Or take your time. Either way,
That's a good option.
but it's sleek to where, again, going back to if you want to throw it in a high rise or boutique or someplace fancy, it lives there. Or and at your man cave, more bar top application.
I love it, man.
And it's high. It's set to where no matter what antlers you put on it, it won't topple over. First off, so we designed the size on purpose. But you can stack books underneath it. You can put anything.
Leather-bound books would look classy.
Rich mahogany.
Yeah. No, I think it's a great option. And then again, it scratches the it's tasteful where the Pinteresty, Etsy vibe with it. That
I see like a hero shot picture
Oh yeah.
with the horns on top. Especially, you get as and this is sad. The economy we live in, everything's getting more expensive. So, say a guy doesn't want to mount his deer, he could put the hero shot underneath of it and pin that deer on top of that.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Then you don't just have a skull. I mean, skulls are offensive to some ladies.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a real bummer.
Yeah. But I mean,
I was gonna say something way more harsh.
But they have
like you want
options.
to say more.
They have options with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a perfect segue into we are also going to be offering customization. So
Okay, what's that mean?
it means we're going to, I know Brandon's going to figure it out for us, but you can go online on your phone and easily say 2024 Battle Axe and submit that order, and we will engrave that.
That's
Whether
awesome.
on the pedestal, on the label, we're going to sell these. Every product has a pill shape in it, so we're going to sell metal badges, so you can engrave for that. But we're going
And
to
they'll drop in there and sit vertically.
drop in there and sit vertically. Then it can have a little description for that memory for those antlers. We'll do the same thing on the pedestal.
Yeah.
So that is going to be an option. Mobile friendly, because the ones currently are kind of archaic that are out there, and that's right. That's fine for now, but we want to do it right from the start. Make it easy. That's what we're trying to do with everything, because we're surrounded by so many things. It's overwhelming. We just want this to be fun, easy.
Right.
Mount your memories.
I will say I do like the metal pedestal setup better than the wood. The wood is cool. We have one of the wood ones here that's 9 Lives is displayed on. I think it's right, but I think the metal. So I think what you're getting to. So many guys have wood in their man caves, wood table, wood in here. It's everywhere that it could clash.
Yep.
And that I just love the metal wood brick contrast. I don't know if we'll ever go out of style.
It's pretty timeless. Look back at history. I mean, and we'll have a lot of customization even on the metal, different finishes, getting to Cerakotes and all kinds of fun things with drops. But yeah, the base will be just murdered out. Let you focus on the antlers with that contrast.
Big fan. Sam, where are your wheels spinning? Because you see so much. I know we talked about like the taxidermy 2-pack where that plays in, but you know, you touch so much of this.
Yeah.
Like, what are your thoughts on it? Like, do you see a big, like, on the back end for taxidermists utilizing a lot of this stuff?
I don't know if you can see it through the video, but I got smoke rolling out of my ears. I mean, you know, I'm just sitting here thinking of all the applications. I mean, with us, you know, we're always trying to mount something to something. I mean, you know, just the way this works, it just amazes me, you know. And I'm even thinking taking it farther into, you know, some mounting stands, you know, for our own products, you know, so we could twist stuff around.
Like to put a mount on and work on.
That we're working on, yes.
Oh, yeah.
And we talked about it earlier today, you know, there's just, with this concept of this ball and as simple as you've made this and as solid as it is, I mean, it's nice.
Thanks.
I mean, it's just nice.
That's what I was looking for out of that question, because there's so much that I think only taxidermists see, because the consumer shouldn't have to know about the stand, you know, and that type of stuff. We don't think about it. We don't need to know about it. But I guess that's exactly what I was getting at. It's like there's so much, there's tools and just little inconveniences that can be solved, I think, with like what you're doing, TJ. And so, yeah, it's like the main reason why I wanted this to happen. I wanted you guys to like connect, you know. It's like I always compare taxidermy shops and tattoo shops and barber shops.
Sure.
And they have really not a whole lot to do with each other, but in the vibe when you walk in them, how you're greeted and all that. And like, Sam, you've always been the guy who's like, what's up? Come on in. Oh, we could do something fucking badass with that.
Yeah.
Most taxidermy shops that I've been in before that, I felt like I was annoying being there.
Right.
And that was like...
I think you want to sell experience.
You do.
Culture's changing.
Yeah.
It's motivating.
Yeah. You know,
I hope.
My situation is a lot different than a lot of guys' situations. I've got a lot of help, so I can stop, sit down, be hospitable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I truly do love people. So I enjoy that end of it. But I could see Earl Fred's Taxidermy. He's a year and a half behind. Everybody's hollering at him. He's mad because Kurt walks in with his deer because he's trying to.
That's true.
I can see. I mean, you know, I see that, but that's not what I want to present to my clientele.
It's a good point. That's a point I didn't consider.
Yeah, I just want a warm, friendly place to come in. You know, we were warm, friendly when I was old Fred behind. I mean, you know, just because that's who we are.
I wonder if that has anything to do with why you're where you're at.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably.
Maybe it helped.
For sure it helped.
A lot of it helped, you know.
Well, you think from my you know, I know a little bit about taxidermy, but I go over to Fred's. Sorry, whoever has Fred's Taxidermy.
I hope there's not a Fred.
Generic name taxidermy.
Yeah.
And you go in and you're like, hey, what's up? And he's just sucks.
Yeah.
And then I roll into Old Barn and you're like, what's up, brother?
Yeah.
You know, it's different.
I want you to come into a clean shop that smells nice. And one of the best compliments I ever had was we had a client leave. Oh, it was the gentleman that builds your knives.
Oh, yeah. Kickapoo Creek Knife Company.
Yep. They left. He called me back and he said, and he had his significant other with him. He said, she was so impressed it didn't smell.
Oh, interesting.
You know, I don't want, because a lot of taxidermy shops smell because, you know, it's confined in a little area. They might not get something, you know, that deer head might have stunk a little bit. There's things that I don't want no smell. When you come in, I mean, we literally have air fresheners that squirt every 15, 20 minutes, you know, a smell because, you know, when you're experiencing something, you know, we're trying to sell the experience, but we're selling a service. We're selling
smell
a brand.
Creates a vibe.
Yes, we want you to come in and we want a clean shop. We want it to smell nice. We want it to set the stage for success right off the get-go.
Yeah.
So when they leave, he calls me back and says, man, my wife was impressed that smelled good. I mean, that was one of the best compliments I ever had.
Never thought about that. Normally, I like, man, I might be kind of exposing my white trashness here. I like the smell of chemicals, though. Like, I like the paint smell. You know what I mean?
And you get that occasionally.
But that's you should. You're painting.
Yeah.
You know, like, I like that. Like, I'm in there maybe getting a couple deep whiffs, you know?
Well, I get on a Bondo high about daily.
Hey, you know, nothing wrong with that.
And then
it's between you and God, brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got those two brain cells that collide every now and then and lets me talk. But I'm killing those two brain cells on a daily basis.
Cost of war.
Yeah.
But no, I think I never really thought about that, I guess.
It's just a different vibe. I just want
It helps you get pretty girls when they're working too. You know?
That really helps.
You know, that creates a good vibe.
Yeah, it really helps, you know, and yeah, that helps a lot. Let's just call a spade a spade.
Yeah. Back in the day, I used to work at Farm and Fleet. I don't know, everyone's got a farm store, and they were, and Menards in the day, this is a bad, I shouldn't even go here, but fuck it. They were known for having good looking cashiers.
Yeah.
It was great when I worked there. There's all these good looking girls there. And I'm not saying things changed, but wokeness is just destroying this country.
I shouldn't tell this story either, but you know,
you got to have a story you're not supposed to tell, TJ. Next, see, this is how we bait you in.
Yeah, I used to own a very large construction company, and we did a lot of big trade shows. We did underground telephone, so and each state has its own telephone organization, and I mean it's almost like the taxidermy stuff or the ATA type stuff. I mean, we went to the shows. Well, I'm a bigger than thou guy. If I'm going to go, I'm going to go all in. Mm-hmm. That's just my personality. So I want the biggest booth. I want Bobby Labante's car there. I want all that. Yeah. But I had a large firm. I mean, I had 280 some employees, right? Well, I had like 40, 50 girls that worked just in the office. Yeah. You know, well, I would always take all of the really great looking gals, and they would be the ones handing out my brochures and whatnot. Yeah. You know, and finally I had an older lady that was a vice president, and she came to me and she says, "You only take the good looking girls, you don't take the ugly ones." I'm like, "What are you saying?"
Damn, she called you out?
Yeah, she called me out, you know, and I'm thinking in the back of my head, well, yeah, that's kind of the perception here, but, you know, perception becomes reality. But, yeah, you know, it's ladies, good looking ladies are nice.
It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt.
But,
now you take good looking ladies that are extremely talented, and that's what I have now. You know, these ladies have talent. Yeah. You know, and they're bypassing me. Yeah, yeah. The talent skills, you know, of course I'm getting older and they're young and they've got good eyes and, you know, and they had a hell of a teacher. Mm-hmm. I mean, that was the thing. But, yeah. You know, now these girls are doing stuff that I can't do. You know, and I just told Linda, I left this morning and we were talking about it and I said, you know, I'm so blessed I can come and do this. Mm-hmm. You know, I can take a day off to come and do this and I don't worry about it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they are doing extraordinary work.
Meanwhile, they're having a pizza party back at the shop, and
and they could be, you know, and God bless them if they are.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they deserve it.
Yeah, I want them to do that, but you know, I'm lucky, man.
Yeah, no, well, you're killing it, man. It kind of goes back if you come in and treat people right and just handle business. That's what it turns into. It turns into good stuff.
Yeah, it pisses some people off.
Oh, well, you're always gonna have that. I'm learning that, man. Like, just as long, you don't even have to be successful. If you're just happy with what you're doing in general, someone's mad about it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Have you ever ran into that with Rat Cub or anybody? Of course, somebody's mad about it, right?
Oh yeah.
That's my idea that I never did anything with.
Yeah. Oh, heard that so many times.
Have you really?
Oh yeah. Yep. Yep. That was my idea for sure. Which,
like in person, like to your face?
I don't recall. No, it's been mostly online and a phone call or something.
Isn't that funny how that works?
It is funny how that works. But no, the idea is this much. The doing is the 90%.
100%. So you can have all these thoughts in the world. It's the guys that do the thoughts
exactly
that make it happen.
Yep. So if you wanna do it, then it's not a bring it on, but like you're gonna have to earn it. That's our mentality.
You just have to do it.
You have to do it. You got to earn it. You know, if we're gonna beat us, which I'm not saying we can't be beat. We 100% can.
Everybody can be, but
you're gonna have to earn it.
It's the initiative to do it, and then to keep doing it is a hard thing. Like staying in motion, and be willing to take constructive crit, which is
that's why I said that early on, because you just got to wade right through it. We get so much of the hate. The biggest one from the start was drilling in the antler, which, if you're familiar with taxidermy, you're using tools every day for everything you see.
Guess what? Your skull plate and your precious buck has 4 holes. Correct. And screws lag through it.
Correct. So it was just a communication, education thing because people didn't want to drill in their antlers, but we made it as minimal and easy as possible. So there was a ton of hate there out of the gate, and it's part of it. If you
do you think that's tapered
anything
off over time?
It's tapered off because there's been enough people that have done it now that barrier isn't there anymore,
It's just re-educating the population on what's protocol or what's right, what's wrong.
Well, here's my reasoning: plaque mounts. how many of those have you seen? I mean, since I was born and found that I love this thing, that's all I can recall is just plaque mounts, the red, the green, the leather.
Yeah, yeah.
That is a skull plate that you and your dad probably held, or uncle or grandpa, and stood on and cut, and it was crooked, and then you spent all day Saturday trying to make it look pretty.
Yeah.
So you were using a Sawzall, drill, and all those things early on for all the plaque mounts you've seen everywhere, but drilling in an antler's an issue. So that it is an education thing.
Yeah.
And we're ready to take. That's why we have right at the top, drill, tap, display. Easy as 1, 2, 3. You're gonna drill in them.
So I'm gonna throw my boy under the bus, and I think I've thrown him under the bus on another podcast with you. Lee Herr is one of my best friends.
Yep.
But he's a faggot. We'll talk about it. He's gayer than hell. I'm just kidding. He's not. I just had to say it to him because I know he's going to hear this and he's going to message me and go, "You fucker." So even though he's gay, I love him. But he can't. He's a shed guy and he can't drill into one.
Yeah, I get it.
He can't. And I told him, I'm like, dude, okay. I've seen his basement. All his sheds are in a pile.
Isn't that cute?
And I'm like, man, but the trade-off, my argument to him is the trade-off for the display. I'd rather have the antler be viewed upon from angles, and the option to switch it up, like Battle Axe's shed is the perfect example for that. It looks so much better on the wall with a hole drilled in the base on display next to the deer than, oh, it's hanging over there. I got the brow tine hanging over the railing right here by the front door. Oh, here, let me grab it.
And then you're holding it up, covering it up with your hand, trying to show it off. And
yeah. So the trade-off to me alone, I get his like, I'm a shed purist, I'm in a cult, whatever he does. But I think Rat Cub takes the cake on his argument. And I said a lot of harsh shit about Lee just now just for him to hit me up and go, you fucker.
Worth it.
Yeah, worth it. You're welcome.
No, and we were that way from the start. We were shed purists. Like, we don't want to drill on it, but there's not a solution unless you're grabbing the exterior or the bottom of it somehow, and it's a larger contraption. And
yeah.
You've seen all the burrs and bases of these things. They get gnarly, so you can't, it's not going to work for all of them. So we designed a system that I'll bet you it can hold it. If you got an antler, it can hold it. You may have to clean the burr off a little bit or something, but it can hold it.
The burr on Battle Axe's shed, I don't know if you remember.
I do.
Get that big elongated burr, and you can't even tell. We kept it and drilled through the elongated burr, and it's on display how big the burr is. So it's better.
If you're a purist, you can leave that burr the way that you found it, the shed you scooped.
Yeah.
And the insert's so minimal, and you can honestly use the same drill bit and drill it out, and it'll come out in shavings. It's a machined aluminum insert. You can drill it out and then fill it back up with super glue and that dust from the antler or any other filler, epoxy, it'll be gone. So it's because you're only going in an inch deep. So it's if you're that shed purist and you try it and you absolutely hate it and we're the worst, you can fill it back in.
Yeah. I don't know. I think once people do it, they'll be like, oh.
Yeah, that's how it always is. I mean,
you're not going to make everybody happy. I mean, it's just not going to happen. And there's going to be a handful of guys that are going to be purists and say, I don't want to drill my holes.
That's fine.
Well, don't buy the damn thing.
Yeah, we had that happen with, I did a reel for the Hyperlight sticks from Trophy Line.
Yep.
And one of the comments is on there, this isn't working class. These are $4.99 for a 4-pack. You know what I mean? Just throwing shade. I'm like, then don't buy it. It's not for you then. People are going to spend their money on what's important to them.
Yep.
If it's too expensive, don't buy it.
That's the same way I say with taxidermy. There is a taxidermist for everybody's budget.
That's right.
You said that on an earlier one, and it hit me. It's like,
just depends on what you want to look at.
There's a tattoo artist for everybody's budget.
Just depends on what you look at the rest of your life, And to me, I'd rather spend $300 extra and say, oh my God.
Yeah, you walk by and you smile every time. Instead of like, gosh, I wish I would have spent $300 extra.
Yeah. There's that, but I hate that argument of like, first of all, you can't ever tell anybody people will buy what's important to them. Right. Like, I don't have a brand new Duramax diesel truck. Would I love one? Yes, but I'm not going to spend the money on it. So I buy a truck that works for me, and I spend my money elsewhere.
Yep.
So I hate that argument because that's why you'll hear me. I like WCB over working class bow. One, it's quicker, and I get tired of saying working class bow hunter over and over and over again, especially when you've been drinking. So like WCB podcast, but a lot of people will be like, they just associate working class with poor. And I hate that thought process because it's not. A lot of times it can be the opposite.
Well, in this economy, it is getting to be poor.
Everybody's
Well,
poor.
everybody is.
I
yeah.
mean, you know.
But what I don't, it's so, yeah, I consider myself working class. But I mean, you know how many dudes I worked with at John Deere that drove $80,000 trucks and then another $60,000 in a boat and
Yep.
then side by sides and trailers and $12,000 tractors and go on and on and on.
On and on.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I think a couple episodes ago, you know, you had Tim in here, and he was talking about people saying they can't afford to buy
Tim Sylvia.
a piece of property, but you know, they go to the bar and drop $200. They're smoking. They're doing this. You know, it's just
true.
You
It's priorities.
You just prioritize where you spend your money.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's true.
I mean, we're getting ready. You know, we both leave for Africa next week. You know, now that's, you know, is it working class? Yeah, it's working class. I mean, it's not grossly expensive, but it's expensive.
Yeah, I didn't do any other vacation this year to go.
No.
It is my vacation.
Yeah, but you know, you just have your priorities and you save your money and you do what you want to do.
Well, that's the thing too. Like even back at a day job when I'm like, hey, I'm taking a week off. I never took a vacation to go sit in the sand for 7 days straight. My vacation is I'm going hunting.
You know,
So when guys are like, man, you kill all them deer. I'm like, well, I didn't take my
you
week
went to
of vac-
Jamaica.
Yeah, you went to Jamaica with your family. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was a great time. But you don't tell me that I'm lucky because I saved my vacation for when you don't want to go out and sit in the woods type thing.
Yeah.
So it's just, they box it in to this thing. So I'm actually kind of annoyed with the term working class from the way people like perceive it. You know, it's like you're supposed to be miserable and have no money, you know?
No, I don't get that vibe.
Yeah. I don't know. Just some thoughts. What else is new, brother?
You're plenty close to it. That's probably why.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I'm just a white trash dude just having a good time, you know?
hey, you made it.
I don't say that.
You're making it.
Yeah.
I'm making it work for
You're
what
making
I
it.
need.
Making
Yeah.
a living,
Yeah.
doing what you like.
That's all we're doing.
Yeah, my kids eat lunch every day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not dinner usually, but lunch for sure.
Well, lunch is important.
That's like our taxidermy firm. You know, I tell everybody I'm comfortably poor. I'm not making tons of money, but I'm okay.
Yep.
Yeah, if you want to make a lot of money, don't talk for a living on a hunting podcast.
Yeah. Don't be a taxidermist.
You can do it. Find your lane and just stick to your lane.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't know what it is. But there's one more product we haven't talked about. Can we talk about
It's
it?
not in here, but yeah.
Oh, shit.
That's okay. Euro mounts. So we're finally coming for you. We got a bracket.
Call
got a
out.
bracket. We've been asked. Rack Hub needs it. It's been all just shed antlers or cut off antlers, but there's a skull audience, and you know, partnering with Antler Tech has helped us attack that. But it's still attaching antlers to a replica skull. We are coming out with a bracket we feel very confident in, addressing a lot of issues or hurdles we've had and seen and experienced ourselves, where it's built like a tank. It's overbuilt, so it'll hold the world class, and then down to, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but like a spike bowl, kids first or your first, and then we'll have the deer version as well, using a ball joint, minimal, focus on your trophy.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's not this big thing that has to stick out a foot from the wall. It's going to be sleek, tidy, fall into the category of Rack Hub, what we are, priced where it should be, not stupid, we feel. And yeah, we're stoked. It's been working on that one behind the scenes here and there for a couple of years. You know, it's kind of been a thought, and then prototype it and test it and tweak it. So getting excited.
That is exciting, man. It makes sense. It's in line with what you do, and I've seen it today. It's very Rack Hub, clean, tasteful, and classy industrial.
Yeah. It's nice.
It's real nice.
We tested it, that exact prototype, because we only have one. We've got 4 other partials. We're working on the next iteration. You guys saw the silvery metal part. We're working on the next iteration of that from that one's learnings. So that'll be like Rev 3 and 4 or whatever we're on. Anyway, we had taken that Euro out there, put Buster's 20-pound antler on it, and to front load it, it's sticking out on his tines. We tipped it, like worst case where the ball joint wasn't bottomed out.
Oh, okay.
So it bottoms out, it's using the cap to rest, so we tipped it up a little bit and tightened her down, and we ended up putting 2 or 3 other giant antlers on there, and we're like, this is more than any skull we can think of, so we just let off. But it was still holding it. We even sat there and
So
tried to bounce
his rack's 40 pounds plus a skull. And then you probably put another what?
That Euro was 20 pounds. Then another, I think we had like 50 or 60 pounds in total hanging on it. So
And it wasn't bottomed out on the collar.
correct.
Or
So
the
it was
cap.
holding, supporting itself. So we're stoked. We're confident, and hopefully
Yeah.
people love it.
Oh, dude, I'm sure it's impressive. It looks clean. There's a lot of Euro options out there. But like, even when you get into like the elk Euro thing, I feel like it gets slimmer. Like it kind of gets
Yep.
smaller. There's a ton of, because you don't really need much to mount you can put a screw in the wall and mount a Euro for a whitetail.
Right.
I mean, it's not the most ideal looking mount, but you can do it if you have.
You can do it.
On a barn wall, whatever. But elk's a little different. For my perception, I'm scared of them falling, whatever. So if you have that extra sturdiness and it's clean looking, that's the thing. It's tasteful. It's what I expected from you guys.
Well, that's good to hear, because I was kind of testing you secretly.
Yeah, you were okay.
It still has the north of 90 feature. So on all our ball joints, when that ball joint bottoms out and it's mounted flat against something perpendicular, it won't go past 90 degrees. It's actually pointing like 95.
Okay.
So antlers, skulls, everything won't fall off, even
Awesome.
if it's loose for whatever reason.
Okay.
Forgot to tighten it. So
It'll just find its spot and stay there until you
you adjust. Like, crap, glad that doesn't fall down further. It would have fallen on something.
That's a good safety feature. Well thought out. It's impressive, man. It's cool. I think that'll be a hit, big time. I'm hoping the brass caps are just a massive hit, because what I do worry about, and you guys got good photos and stuff. I'm gonna show this on the camera. What I do worry about is the photo won't translate to the eye the way that this is translating to my eye right now in person, because this is my favorite look I think I've seen in really any mounting option. Like, that's just nice.
Yeah, dude, the contrast on black, it's hot.
It's hot. This is right.
When we were making them, Joe and Russell were machining the brass. It takes a lot to get them giddy about something, because that's their every day, right?
Yeah.
And I got calls, not text, saying you got to see it in person. Like, they wouldn't send me a picture. They were that proud of it and like that stoked about it. Because normally we'll just text or polo each other, whatever, on what it is. This one, they're like, no, you got to see it in person.
Yeah, that's hot. Well, who thought of this? The brass.
I don't know if it was me or someone else on the team. I don't remember. It's all a blur.
You're just here.
I'm just here. Yeah,
credit for it.
I'll take credit because I'm the only one, but it's probably someone else's good idea.
Gold star.
Yep.
So tell me about your business. I mean, are you the sole owner of this, or?
Yeah, so started out, I think we covered some of it on WCB, but it's good recap. So started out with my cousin Jason, and we were in it, halvesies, and then over time, just things had happened. I told you offline about his son, and just he's doing good now, but challenges there. And ultimately, when you start a business, you don't fully understand. You think, oh, we'll make a thing, sell the thing, we're gonna, make money, it's gonna be great. And you get in it, and it's the hardest thing you've ever done. And any entrepreneur understands
Way
that.
more money goes out,
correct,
than comes in,
and you got to stay at it to get it to come in.
Yep.
And you can make it work. You just got to stay at it and read the signs. Make the pivots and whatnot. So anyway, it ended up being not what either of us thought, and ultimately we just said, hey, TJ, go for it. Jason, we're good. He's the best guide, the smartest deer hunter you'll ever meet that you don't know about. And I have the utmost respect for him, and I feel like he does for me. And so we're good, but it's just, you go take it on, because he's more of a outdoors guy in the field, not what unfortunately business is today, which is internet and website and ads and social media and all the things. So ultimately, I own it now. There's a few other gentlemen that have a little skin in it, but we've got a bunch of people in different facets. So, like an Adam Perry that runs our social, and a Brad Beaver that was huge at the start of it and helps maintain brand. Russell, and he's the guy that I told you about, the machinist. That's the only reason we're here, because he took us on, believed in us at the start. Dwayne Jones helps on the shed season side. Keegan Bruner helps. Keegan was on that podcast. He helps forward thinking, big business, where are we going?
Yeah.
This quarter, next year, 3 years from now. And then there's so many other people. Like my parents have been huge supportive, running errands and helping do this and that. And my wife Whit and letting me do it. You know,
Yeah, that's
it's
big.
Huge sacrifice for the family. So I'm forgetting a ton of people, but there's a whole community team involved that's helping.
It's a super
us.
team, man. Just what you named off is a powerhouse.
Brandon from website, and there's others. So yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, man. It's
What a great story.
It's impressive, man. It's how did we meet? Did we meet for the first time? It wasn't at ATA this last year. It was a couple of years ago, right? Did we go over this?
I feel like we kind of peacocked around each other for years.
and almost didn't know it. Maybe
Almost
to a point.
didn't know it. We knew, the trophy lines and the Dialeds and the Novix gangs, and
Yeah.
but I think it might have been ATA when we first hugged it out.
Yeah, we hugged it out officially. Yeah,
Just dodged the handshake and went for it.
loved on each other a little bit. You got to do that from time to time.
You do,
boys.
Yeah,
And
that's why we're all
in a non-woke way. We're matching hat
right.
gang.
Yep. I think we said no homo as we were approaching each other.
Yeah. I whispered it under my
Yeah.
breath a little bit.
It was just mental for me. I didn't want to say. Yeah, I was scared.
Yeah, you just thought it.
Thought it. No.
Yeah.
Sam's getting uncomfortable.
I'm a hugger, man. I do.
I'm a hugger too.
Our crew. I heard someone else describe WCB as huggers, and I'm like, oh fuck, we're that crew, because we are, like, we hug people we like and we're friends with. We
It's family.
we hug each other. That's what we do. But I never thought about it. We do it, and someone's like, oh yeah, they're huggers, and I'm like, oh fuck, like I wonder if we're like crossing boundaries.
Well, your shirt's acronymed up for it right there.
Hey.
WCBH.
That's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just own it.
Hey, we do.
Huggers. I see a new T-shirt drop though, and stickers and stuff.
Huggers. I
Yeah.
like it.
I do too.
You know what my motto is?
Yeah?
Give somebody a hug.
That's
You have
I'm a hugger.
Yeah. Yep.
That's true.
I'm the OG hugger.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
OG
true.
hugger.
One thing I learned with Sam, you can't buy him dinner.
Yeah,
He
you
won't-
don't buy.
That's the first.
He sounds like Keegan.
It's Keegan the same way.
Oh, you won't sneak it past him.
Yeah.
I'll let you.
Then he probably gets a little, like,
He gets offended. He won't have it.
I get offended.
it's the
Yeah.
first biz.
You like Keegan. You get along.
Oh yeah, Keegan's the man. We're working on something.
I can't wait to know.
You already do know, I bet.
Not
But
telling.
we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
It should be. Fuck. I wonder if I could talk about it on this. I'm not gonna.
September 15th, you said. So can you give a tease? Hey, Kurt, can you give a tease to the listeners on what you're cooking up?
Holy shit! This might be an exclusive drop. Maybe it might already be out. I don't know. At the time of recording, it's up in the air. It involves liquid.
That's specific, but not.
And if you drink enough of this liquid, you might feel different.
Good liquid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You drink enough of it, you might fight somebody. No, I don't know.
That kind of liquid.
I'm just kidding.
That guy.
No, I don't know.
We'll be hugging.
We'll see. Yeah, or a lot of hugs. There's a tease. But yeah, man, I don't know. This series is fun. Partially, I love Sam and I love everybody at Old Barn, and it's cool to like intermingle the community of WCB people that we know. And I'm meeting a lot of people through this series as well. So it's fun. So I'm glad that you got in here to do it and we made it happen, because I think launch for Rack Hub is perfect right before season. Code WCB
Yep.
saves you some money at Rack Hub. And what the sale is would have been already.
Yeah, we're running currently here in July a 10% off site wide, just middle of summer. Grab some stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, 10% off. WCB code works now and forever, probably.
Yeah.
So
Cool. So well, fuck. Can we do a giveaway?
I'm in.
If
Yeah.
somebody uses code WCB, what do we do?
Oh boy. I mean, maybe when are we starting this?
We'll start at launch.
Are we setting aside one of the brass ones?
Yeah, let's do that.
Ooh.
Let's do that.
That'd be sexy.
We'll do a month. If you comment when this episode goes live on socials, when you see the post, if you comment, we'll just pick a winner from the comments.
Love it.
And we'll just pick a winner between like Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, write that down. Let's do it.
Okay, I'm doing RH giveaway, brass,
Yep.
Facebook, Instagram comments.
And then we'll have to, I don't know, maybe pick a month when we do the contest of the, use the code WCB, get your product like the antler bars or whatever. Who can be the most creative?
I think we should do that like during shed season.
We can do that. Yeah.
You know
Let's
what I mean?
do it.
Because then guys are...
We'll add it to our list and we'll get
Because it's after hunting season, then guys can focus on some projects and people are finding sheds, so everybody's jacked up.
That'd be perfect. Yeah, we'll make a thing of it then.
The wintertime blues after season, guys are going to get stir crazy and start fucking around in the garage.
For sure. Fondling antlers again, reminiscing.
I think that's a great idea. That like really excites me to just see like photos people would submit. Like, do you know what I mean? Do you ever watch? Do you ever follow the group Trophy Rooms of the World on Facebook?
I don't
Are you in that
follow
group,
them.
Sam?
I think
It's just Trophy Rooms of the World, and people just post their displays, and it's the most fun Facebook group ever.
I
And
need to get on it if I'm not following them.
yeah, you should, because honestly, I have tagged Rat Cub and a few things in it, so I bet you've seen it, or whoever runs your social have seen it. Because there's people like, hey, I got this, I want to display this. I've tagged you in there a couple times.
Thank you.
It's a fascinating.
Appreciate the plugs.
Here, real quick, we'll just show you on air because I want you
boy.
to see this. Look at that guy.
Look at him.
What a stud.
I'd like to hug him.
I bet you that guy hugs a lot of people. See, I gotta remember I have a neck tattoo, so I'm like approaching people to hug them. They're like trying to run. Don't mind my.
Few open tabs.
Yeah, I'm just a busy guy.
Is that Men's Warehouse?
Don't look. Victoria's Secret.
No secret, no more. That's what I heard.
No, it's not. Okay. Trophy Rooms of the World. Your group, Trophy
Right
Rooms
there.
of the World.
Yeah.
So
Oh my.
you get in here, and it's just one. There's a lot of taxidermists in it, but
Wow.
you just see, and some are crazy African elaborate taxidermy stuff, and then some are just like, a guy's basement, how he got crafty, like this turkey display. It's such a fun group. You just see it a little thing of just a couple skulls on a shelf to just what shops guys are building. And
I don't think I've ever seen this. If I have, I haven't paid
dude,
attention.
it's my favorite. I will scroll it until I start seeing stuff I've already seen, and then I'll give it a break and go through and scroll. But it's just neat to see what people got, like a couple mule deer pedestal mounts with a couple moose pedestals. You can get some creative ideas.
Yeah, you can get inspired for sure.
But yeah, I'm sure there's Rat Cub could make a play in here, and Old Barn G2. Like, look at that.
Wow.
Neat. That's neat.
This dude has an entire tree in his house with turkeys roosted all over it.
That's cool.
You know what I mean? Just the stuff you see in this
That's
group
really
like this.
cool.
So I don't know who manages this group, but shout out to you for the idea, and it's popping off. There's there's a lot, but look at this guy's display. How many Cape buffaloes that dude got?
Wow.
Rhino, leopard, roans.
Wow.
He's got money.
Got that 1% money.
He's money.
But the thing is, it's like you can go in and kind of just dream a little bit and see what guys do. Like Tom Miranda type trophy.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of.
Leather bound books, full mount sable. Just kind of some neat stuff.
Is there a hand? Is that the? You go back. There's a hand.
Oh, jeez.
Nah,
Come on.
that's racist.
Somehow that's racist. Chubbs was a true story is the
Chubbs.
first
I was trying to
comment.
think of Chubbs. Yeah.
I got his head. I hope that's what that joke is from.
It has to be. Yeah.
Please explain us the hunting story of that crocodile, please. It's my hunter trophy. Honestly, no idea. My hunt isn't... Okay, I don't know what that is. Oh, it must be the taxidermist commenting. Anyway, it's a cool freaking page. And if you like taxidermy... Oh, God.
Oh, geez.
All right, this guy has a full mounted grizzly with that's weird, with a guy in the fetal position under it with his ribs showing. That's a weird mount.
Yeah, that's not.
Why would you do that?
That's not for me.
What?
Never seen that.
Why would you want that in your house?
Yeah.
Okay, that's one I can't get behind.
No.
But anyway, you see some crazy shit on there. It's cool.
Yeah.
So there's my plug for Trophy Rooms of the World, the Facebook group. And I think there's a ridiculous amount of people on here. 119.3 thousand.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
They've been at it for a while.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I've invited a handful of people to this group. It's awesome. So
Huh.
kind of neat.
You have to check it out.
But yeah, I bet you there's some rack hub displays and
Oh, yeah.
probably some G2
Hopefully.
and Old Barn work in there somewhere.
Somewhere.
So,
I would
Cool.
hope. I would hope.
Yeah. If not, we need to get to work.
No doubt.
okay, so we'll do a giveaway when this launches. We can post about it too. We can just make a post when this
Yeah,
goes live.
for sure.
Just to create some buzz. But yeah, thanks everybody for listening. Dude, thanks for coming in. I appreciate you making the haul and bringing us all the stuff and taking the time.
Yeah. No, thanks for making the time, both of you.
It's a great meeting you. Yeah,
You as well.
I tell you, this is an incredible product. You're doing some great things.
Thanks. Yeah, it takes a team.
Where can people find you?
Rackhub.com, and on social, same thing. There's a lot of platforms we're on, but yeah, you should be. We've been working hard on the SEO side, so hopefully we pop up. You can type in antler display, and hopefully we'll be right there at the top. So
Cool. Well, I want to scream it from the rooftops. It's one of those things I think the more listeners hear about it and see the benefits of it, and hopefully I can cut a reel up of literally you taking that nasty deadhead and turning it into something clean in 7 minutes. Probably would be the most accurate time frame of it.
Yeah, it didn't take long.
It's a big selling point. So, yeah, thanks, man. Thanks, Sam.
You
Glad
bet.
you guys got introduced. It's what I wanted today.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So, hey, give somebody a hug. Tell them you love them. One hug at a time will make this a better world to live in. God bless.